Welcome back to another episode of Tailgate Talk. It's actually raining outside, so I moved this inside. Same rules apply. 2 minutes to explain a topic. Today we're going to be talking about GMRS radios. I'm going to go through a little bit about what they are, how to use them, and who they're for. I'm going to do a much longer video in the future if you guys are interested in this, but today's just kind of a quick overview and enough to get you started, hopefully. So like I said in the intro, today we're going to be talking about GMRS radios. We're going to go through a little bit about what they are, who they're for, and a little bit about how to use them. I actually did get a new radio. I'm partnered up with Bofang Tech, and they sent me some new stuff, so I'm really excited to get that installed. But I'm going to do a full video on that in the future, talking about how to install it, and then a lot more in-depth information about GMRS and really radios in general. So let's get that timer started. So GMRS stands for General Mobile Radio Service. That's the name given to it by the FCC. They regulate all communication stuff. Unlike ham radios, you don't have to take a test, but you do need a license. It's $35 currently, and that's good for 10 years, and anybody in your family can use it. You just pay them $35 so they can process your application, and there's whatever. But if you want to be legal, that's how you do it. These radios, there's a couple different kinds. You've got handheld radios that you hold in your hand. They've got a shorter antenna, and they have a battery. These are really good. They're portable. You can throw them in your pocket, throw them in a bag, take them around with you. The downside, you can't talk as far because these are less powerful and a shorter antenna. You also have things like a mobile radio. These typically get mounted in a vehicle. It's got a connection, so you connect it right to your battery, and then you screw an antenna here. I've actually got it mounted on my roof up here. So this has a lot more power and a lot larger antenna, so you can communicate usually a farther distance. With any radios, it needs to be, they call it line of sight. Basically, it has to be able to, that radio wave has to go from your antenna to a tower. So if there's a bunch of obstructions, buildings, trees, stuff like that, it's not going to be able to get through. So when you see these 5, 10, 20 mile ratings on these radios, that's in perfect conditions. Now, like I said, you do need a license to use these, but anybody can talk on these with its licensed. Obviously, check up on the rules and everything, but I mean, if you're out with people who go out with their families, have these radios, so don't be swearing, don't be talking about vulgar things like that. That's just kind of a good rule of thumb, but they're super simple. They come pre-programmed, and you can kind of see there, they have channels. Unlike ham radios, you don't have to program it in. Everything comes pre-programmed. You can just say, hey, let's switch to channel 21 or whatever channel you were talking, and everybody goes on that. This won't work with things like CB or other radios, but anybody with a GMRS radio should be able to talk on there. Just switch to it, and then you just push the button on the side, key it up, and start talking and communicate with anybody else in the group. So it's a pretty good option. We're out of time. If you want to have more information about this, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the future things, but especially that more in-depth GMRS video and radios in general video, specifically from a more overlanding side of things. I know a lot of people use these for prepping or just communicating with people. I'm going to focus more on off-roading and overlanding there. Let me know in the comments down below what your radio of choice is. Like I said, I've just partnered up with Bofang Tech or B-Tech for these. It's different than the cheap Chinese knockoff. This is an American company making American radios, programmed in America and everything. So we're going to go more in depth on that in the future. But let me know down below what your experience with GMRS is and what kind of radios you like. Thanks for watching.